Welcome to the Fanboy and the Hater,
a podcast hosted and produced by Mike Hall and Jim Harris,
where we discuss the best
and worst
in movies,
TV,
and pop culture. What are your final thoughts on Shazam and your metaphorical rating?
Overall, I think this is a good movie to watch once or twice. After that, it becomes a dumpster fire. Overall, I give this 7 sins. Feels good at the time. It's very short-lived, and if you stop and think about it, you know it's wrong. Overall, the lazy writing becomes shallow and annoying, and I think anybody that watches it more than a few times is going to agree.
For me, again, the bar is very low, but for me, this was my second favorite live-action DC movie behind only Wonder Woman. And for me, it was one of the few movies, and again, not just to pick on DC, but one of the few superhero movies in recent memory that had a very well-constructed story. I really like, regardless of the genre or type of film, I like it when the story connects. And there were definitely things that foreshadowing early in the movie and then callbacks later in the movie that connected the dots for good continuity from the beginning all the way through to the end. And I really liked that story construct. I also thought that it did a very good job. Not a great amount of depth, but I thought that it was a decent amount of both character development and plot development that was really well executed throughout. I also really liked the themes that were strong throughout the movie. The underlying theme of family, what does it mean to be a family? Not just in the traditional definition of not the family that we decide to become a part of as opposed to the one that we're born into. What does it mean to be a superhero? Trying to figure out how to actually accept both the positive and negative aspects of that reality. Overall, I found the movie to be incredibly entertaining, and I give it 2 lightning with my thumbs, lightning with my thumbs, lightning with my thumbs, lightning with my thumbs. I wish you could see how angry Mike looks right now.
You got the words and the cadence wrong on it. Everything was wrong about it.
So your review of my review is that everything was wrong about my review.
What you said, I don't disagree with a lot of that stuff. I just think it's first couple of watchings, yeah. After that, no. I would have agreed with you the first time I watched it about it being one of the best DC movies. Now it is the second worst DC movie in my head.
I think it is one of those movies. I mean, I understand the point that you're making. I really do think it is a movie that isn't going to stand up well to repeated viewings. But I would also argue it's probably also a movie that you're not going to be motivated to want to watch multiple times. Like if Shazam came on, and like when it goes on a streaming service or someone had it playing on DVD or Blu-ray when it came over their house, I wouldn't object to it. I don't think I would seek this movie out, though, and want to watch it specifically.
This is a good background movie. Like, if you're not going to pay attention to it, it's a great movie to have on in the background while you're doing other things. Fantastic for that. If you're going to pay attention to it, you're going to start to not like it.
I agree. And I still think, again, that's exactly how this movie was written. I think it was written to not be viewed multiple times, to be enjoyable at a superficial level and not to take too close of a look at it. And if you can do that, I think you will enjoy this movie. And I think the entire family will enjoy this movie because, again, like I said earlier, I think it's a great movie for introducing young kids to superheroes and getting them interested in it and understanding the realities of it, both the positive and negative aspects of it. That's why I give it 2 lightning with my thumbs, lightning with my thumbs. I can't sing, so I'm really annoying Mike.
And there's the 8th sin. The Fanboy and the Hater,
where we discuss the best
and worst
in movies,
TV,
and pop culture.
We are available on all major podcast platforms,
including Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Stitcher, Spotify, and many more.
Join us while we argue about the things that we love,
like Star Wars, superheroes, and science fiction,
and the things that we wish were better,
like Star Wars, superheroes, and science fiction.
So tune in to The Fanboy and the Hater.